All right. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Good morning. Um, we got the monthly report from November and December on January 23rd, 2025. So that is, or I guess it came out on the 22nd, but I always read it on the 23rd because everything always comes out after I go offline in the morning. We typically read through all these. I'm going to keep that same format, although because it's the first monthly report of 2025, it tends to be more of a recap than an actual things that they're working on. It's typically things that they worked on that we already see. So hopefully going to pull out some things that are not, like that stick out basically. Like right away, AI content, dynamic conversations we've been hearing. I think many of you, if you play the game, you've heard Jared's voice, you've heard Johnny Josivius's voice. They're actually using the devs instead of hiring voice actors and spending a bunch of money on stuff like that, our money, which is good. And then here's probably the biggest one that I see is they're trying to fit as many NPCs into a landing zone like Area 18 as possible. And they're not happy with the numbers, but they're experimenting with creating environments with denser populations. So I don't know about you guys, but I don't care if there's a lot of NPCs at a location to make it feel alive. I want them to spend all the time and effort putting us in locations. So the video, I'm reading the chat. Stop, Riga, make sure you're distracting me. So the game feels alive, right? So I don't particularly care or think that this should be a super priority, but, CR probably played Cyberpunk over the holidays or something and thinks there should be a bunch of AI everywhere. I'm just being facetious. Obviously, this is something they've planned the entire time with this game, AI having lives and all this other crap that I don't think is that important, but it doesn't matter what I think. That is Chris's vision. That has always been Chris's vision. And you're seeing them work towards it, which is, I guess, a good thing. I don't know how well it's going to work out, though. But AI features, combat with contested zones, NPCs will reload, run out of ammo, search for more from down combatant. Okay, I don't think I've ever seen an AI run out of ammo, but I have seen them search downed combatants and just do an animation, right? But I don't know how smoothly that's working or anything. They do seem to fire in bursts. They do seem to do things like that, but like don't just fire at you and lock onto you and that's it. The NPCs since Contested Zone, since 4.0, do seem to be more advanced. I just don't know if they're as advanced as they're saying here in this section. We've definitely seen MedPen equipped NPCs revive players, like actual, like we've seen a streamer, I think it was Expat Brat and others, seen AI revive them. What we haven't seen is just super advanced AI, right? Or like medics or anything like that. That I think was a SitCon 2023 thing, right? And just kind of coming in now. Quasi Grazer was mentioned. And we know all that already. AI tech, dynamic cover, old stuff that is from SitCon 2024 and was put into the game a while ago. Apollo subsumption stuff. I don't see anything too crazy. Multiple improvements were made to the tactical point system to provide faster results. Don't really know what that is. When searching for usables, cover point on navigation mesh with less impact. Okay. I mean, I think that's the same thing as the cover generator thing. It's like actually using it. Navigation stuff. I gotta say, I don't think AI are getting stuck in as many places. I don't want to crap on the AI stuff because I did see improvements. Is it as good as we want them to be? No. But have we seen improvements? Yes. So we should call out those improvements, right? And it is a little bit better, but not fantastically better. They're still kind of pretty easy to kill, and I think the early days of 4.0, the first couple days, AI were kind of scary, but since then, not so much. I always skip this game intelligence development team stuff. This is a bit over my head. Feel free to leave a comment and let me know like what you guys think about it. But yep, I want to play the game. I don't want to find out how it's made. I don't really care. Animations. November saw them create animations for hacking and door panels. Oh, so I checked with the stream. Hey, was there anything cool in here? No, but none of you mentioned this. That's kind of cool. So if they're doing the animation for it, that means at the very least they have a loose design and have plans to deliver it in the near future. Plans. But we know how CIG plans go. So that's really interesting. Also, more Valakar stuff mentioned. I think, we had talked to Zach at CitizenCon about it, me and Level Cap, and he was pretty adamant about trying to get this thing as soon as possible. So, them doing animations for it is kind of like the polished stuff, not, So maybe, we'll see. And then more upcoming creatures. We saw the blue milk cow and other things, right? Character art, they're currently working on 2 new armors alongside upcoming armor variants. Now, I called this out every single time we did the monthly report last year, that this section was always the same. It said that they were working on, suits and this new visor stuff and blah, 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 like utility suits and specialized suits or something, right? And we saw what that became at CitizenCon 2024. Well, not what it became, what they want it to become. And here, it's saying that they're working on 2 new armors. Now, it really comes down to, are these 2 new armors to sell in the subscriber store, or are these 2 new armors to show us their intentions from what they showed at CitizenCon 2024? We'll have to see. Ship art's really short. Okay. Surprised here. Alongside unannounced vehicles, several upcoming vehicles progress through white and gray box stages, including progressed through. That means done, right? In the English language, I believe. They have either completed the white box of the Pioneer, Ironclad, Paladin, TAC, CSV FM, and Apollo and Perseus. Right? No Galaxy. So that's kind of big. So these are either in white or gray box stages, or completing white and completing gray box stages. Hard to say there, but it really comes down to a couple things here, right? First mention of the Apollo, not first. I mean, I think it was shown at CitizenCon, but yeah, it's meaningful. That's art, yes. But ships in this game are pretty much only art, right? There's only 2 ships in this game, in this list, I should say, that are going to produce anything other than art. And that is the Pioneer and the Apollo. Or, excuse me, the Pioneer and the Argo CSV FM. One of them builds bases. The other one builds bases and is like a mobile factory, right? So that's a thing, and those are probably not going to come for a very long time. Their art may be done, but is their gameplay going to be done? We'll see. Apollo, kind of, but not really. Community stuff I always skip over. This person writes hate comments under my YouTube videos. Super sweet. Love you for that. Good community member, by the way. Core gameplay. All core gameplay teams were heavily involved in addressing stability and performance issues found around 4.0. Working on jump points. Like, yeah, okay. They did the new mission system. Like, we know all this stuff, and they didn't even finish the new mission system, right? Still in progress. Number of territories or regions served by one dedicated server increased. More features were found to have issues with authority transfer. So here's what they're saying is like, yo, game dev is hard, right? Nomadic Aviator, thank you for the raid. Appreciate it. We're just reading over the monthly report right now. So welcome, everybody. Teams were also heavily involved in new content, including contestants. Yeah, like nothing new was said here. Game dev is hard, pretty much. Nothing crazy. Economy. The end of 2024, the economy team adjusted the prices of quantum and hydrogen fuel to account for new tank sizes. How do you guys feel? I don't feel the prices of fuel is impactful. I just have not felt the impact of fuel. And okay, that's not true. Let me phrase that differently. The impact of the price of fuel. I have definitely felt the impact of the size of the fuel tanks. Yeah, missile weapon component restock is way more impactful than the fuel. And what's kind of interesting here is, you know, when you play the game on the industry side of things, there's not a whole lot of times where you're running into combat, right? And you might lose a wing and lose a weapon, I guess in mining, losing components or modules for your mining laser, things like that, have always kind of been a thing on the repair side. But you would think that fuel would always kind of be a impactful thing for ships like that, and it just isn't. So I don't know. I don't know if that's something that I want or not want. I'm always just going to kind of let them cook there, but always say that it's like, yeah, okay, you made the changes, but it doesn't feel impactful. Meanwhile, like a size 10 bomb or a torpedo from the Polaris, people use them to complete missions because it's more valuable for them to complete the mission than to make the money from it, because there's too many faucets in Star Citizen and not enough sinks. So nobody cares about losing the money because they've already have enough money. So that's not impactful for other reasons, right? But using a size 10 bomb or using a torpedo, if things stay the way they are today completely, then it's probably not going to be worth it to use a bomb or use a torpedo financially. But it might always be worth it to just complete the mission similar to what we have today, right? And if that's what they're going for, okay. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but yeah, kind of weird. Graphics, programming. Finalized internal support for Vulkan and rolled it out as the default renderer for developers. This is a big deal. That's a big deal, I believe. That's not nothing to sneeze at, is it? I think that's meaningful, right? If when they do it as the default renderer for developers, that means it's well, yeah, don't sneeze because I have a bruised rib right now, so no sneezing. Like, you're gonna see this is extraordinarily painful. Oy. But yeah, that's a big deal. That I think the last time we saw something like that, I remember it was like, this is the default way we're doing things. I think it might have been meshing, something like that. That was like in game dev. This is, when you're building stuff out, you're using this system now. Now they're using Vulkan for sure, which is cool. This includes many stability improvements alongside multi-threading improvements to increase CPU performance on multi-core machines. These improvements are in the main branch, so they will reach the PU when the next major pull of the main code branch takes place. Wowzers. Huge info there. Nice. R&D stuff for global elimination, Planetech V5, whatever. We'll see that when we see that. That's meaningful. We still have a lot of Vulkan crashes currently, and I'm sure we will have plenty when this comes out, but that is a big piece of the puzzle to get good client performance, right? Lots of people on the screen, that is what they tell us is going to help improve our frames when there's lots going on in one place. They're doing the thing with server meshing, so when there's a lot going on across an entire shard, they've kind of solved a lot of those problems, but they have not solved this problem. So hopefully they did. Interactables, key cards, that's old stuff. Locations, old stuff. Mission design, old stuff. Narrative, I mean, I've read them talk about mission givers all last year. I haven't seen a single one. Yeah. Online tech, I'm not seeing anything that sticks out there. Just making server meshing a reality, and they did. R&D. Finalize the core system components for the first version of dynamic weather. Previously implemented weather map support extended. Now there's rain accumulation, evaporation, planet's temperature, humidity, and wind. Similar controls were added for lightning. Okay. That's pretty cool. More fixes to volumetric clouds to make them look less artifacty. That's nice as well. Very, very cool. More creature stuff. Character customizer. Lots went throughout December, but none of those fixes actually worked. Fixing doors, reward logic, hooking up lights, sound effects. I mean, some of these things worked, but we're still running into a lot of issues, right? And then VFX for like ships and locations. And that's the monthly report. So nice. Some big highlights there, I think, would be definitely Vulcan being on the main branch. I'm trying to think of other things that stick out. Maybe armor. Definitely the ships being in, various stages that seems like they're going pretty darn hard on. Valakar animations and hacking and door panels. So this is a thing, like, keep your ears out for hacking now. We know that they wanted to get that ship in with hacking. Totally forgetting the name. It looks like a mosquito. But the reason I forget it is because there's no point in even thinking about it, right? But yeah, the Legionnaire. We know they wanted to get that in last year. It was the only ship that didn't make it. This year, I don't think it's getting thrown to the side like things usually do. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, those I think are the highlights. And yeah, not that bad of a monthly report given it's super late and we already know most of the things. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, some highlights there worth looking forward to, I'd say. How their implementation goes, we'll see. I don't know.